most of us that end up opening our own academy is because we fell in love with the art of jiu-jitsu and the lifestyle. But what I see that happened with me, and it still happened with a lot of people, is the fact that the same lifestyle that they loved in the beginning of their jiu-jitsu journey, now that doesn't exist when they open an academy, a few years later after they open the academy. Because what happened is, from teaching jiu-jitsu and training jiu-jitsu to run a business is a completely different story. Now you have many more responsibilities. Now you have to run the place, you got to do the business side, you got new inquiries, get new students, and you got to worry about cleaning, you got to worry about customer service, you got to worry about so many things. And what happened is, many times that takes the joy of the training itself. It takes the joy out of, our first passion, which is training jiu-jitsu. And I like to play and say that the dream becomes a nightmare. We come with the dream of having a jiu-jitsu lifestyle, but then when we open our academy, many times we become slave of the academy. Which is important to understand is here, right? The skills that we have to learn jiu-jitsu are completely different skills than to teach jiu-jitsu, are different skills than to compete in jiu-jitsu, are completely different skills to coach in jiu-jitsu competition. And obviously, is a completely different sets of skills that you need to run a business. There is something, unfortunately, in our community that think that because I love jiu-jitsu and I'm good at jiu-jitsu, I can be a good competitor, I can be a good teacher, I can be a good professor, or I can run a academy. But the reality is, those are not true. And if we want to learn jiu-jitsu, the skill of jiu-jitsu, that is very important. But if I want to teach jiu-jitsu, not only I need the skills of jiu-jitsu, not only I need to know the technique part, but we have to spend time in learning how to teach. The art of jiu-jitsu is one thing, but teaching is another art for itself. So in order to become a good teacher, I have to know the art of jiu-jitsu and the art of teaching. This is very obvious. Many times, honestly speaking, I see many people, they're extremely good in what they do on the mat. They're very technical. As they train, as they drill, they're fantastic. Fantastic athletes. Many of them very successful competitors. But when it comes to the part of teaching what they are doing, sometimes doesn't always translate. Sometimes the person know that information, they know how to do, but to communicate and to pass that information to somebody else, that's a little different. So in order, if I want to be a good competitor, I need to compete. If I want to be good at armbar, I'm going to do arm bars. But if I want to be a good teacher, a good professor, I need to learn the art, not only jiu-jitsu, but I also need to learn the art of teaching. Well, and as we're talking about, the progression is we start training, we start teaching, and the next step usually is, if you want to do jiu-jitsu like I did as a lifestyle, not only just a lifestyle, but as a living, as a way to provide to your family, most of the time we open academy. Now we're talking about a totally different set of skill. Now we're talking about we have to learn how to run a business. It's different areas that we have to make sure that we divide those things, that we're able to separate, and that we equip ourselves in order to have the lifestyle that we want, in order to be successful. Not only in the process of learning jiu-jitsu, not only in the process of teaching jiu-jitsu, but not only in the process of running a Jiu Jitsu academy.